All right, good morning, my neighbors. Welcome to another episode of BYTTT. Before you take the trade, the goal here is to make sure that you know exactly what's about to happen before you take the trade. So we're going to go ahead and drop some gems. If you don't have the like and subscribe already done, go ahead and take the time and just go ahead and do that right now. Also, there is no more 90% off on elite accounts. It's currently 65%, but it's still good because fast tracks are one ways that I got myself funded. So if you want to get a fast track account, the link is down below. Now that's for my seasoned traders. So if you haven't been trading futures or you're trying to find your way knowing how to trade futures, by all means, go ahead, click the link down below. My free 101s is going to be open for all of the month of January. I still got space, so go ahead and sign up. Let's go ahead and get into the charts. All right, first thing I want to go ahead and take a look at is NQ. I'm going to see if I can find a very solid trade here. So we're going to do a little quick top-down analysis. Now on Tuesday, we tried to kind of get a little bit of a sense of the market, what type of climate we're going to be dealing with. So what we're going to be doing, we're going to start off on paper trade just to kind of get ourselves warmed up. If a pitcher got to warm up in the bullpen, if a basketball player has to come out for warm-ups, we got to do the same thing as traders, kind of get ourselves ready for the market. Right now, I don't see anything that tells me to look for any bearish moves. There might be some bearish retracements, but right now it looks very bullish along the way because right now when we opened the market, we stopped at 21,379 and did not take out any lows. We're sitting on top of my 50 EMA after breaking below, and that's where they picked up the bag. So you can kind of see we're starting to get this nice little push up here across to the MACD, a pin of the stochastic. It just looks extremely bullish, and I like what it looks like. So let's go ahead and see what we can find. So on the 45 minute, one of my favorite setups is the 45 minute because I like when you kind of get that cross between the 15 minute and the 45 minute, and you can kind of see here with my market dominance kind of said we're going to go ahead and get a little green throughout the day, and it just been picking up ever since, and it's been picking up the slack, especially after we kind of closed off around, let's see, this is 2015, so that's about 8:15 at night. So this is a nice little pickup, so we're just drifting right on up. So this is a good setup for us to get a little bit of continuation because there's a lot of supporters that's here. If they're still looking for highs, we're probably going to go ahead and test that 21,800 because we stopped at 21,778 and probably get a little bit of a pullback there. So I'm going to be looking right there. If you haven't been in one of my floors, the way we kind of trade, we do a lot of opening range breakouts. It's a very simple strategy. It allows for us to kind of align ourselves with the market and keep things where it makes sense. So the first thing I want to kind of break down is that we look at it from a 15 minute standpoint. It's one of my favorites. So we're going to go ahead and check out the 15 minute of yesterday and kind of get an idea of what that looks like. So we got the first 15 minutes of the market, which would have been 9:15, 9:30. So we would have been bearish below this candle, and we would have been bullish above here. Let's go ahead and put a right there. Perfect. All right, let's change that up. Bullish. Oh, that's what I did. I accidentally hit the Windows button. All right, and then this one right here is bearish. All right, so you could see right now the action that we faced yesterday, and of course this was inauguration of my options traders. I know you probably didn't play, but for my futures and forex traders, there was a little bit of action here. So we had a nice little drop off that happened here. They picked it right back up around 10:45. So you got yourself a nice little pivot that happened here. Let me go ahead and change. Oops, don't go up there, go up here. All right, so we got ourselves a nice little pivot here. Call this general, right? And then you can see we bumped our head throughout the night right in this same area. Why is that? Because this was a nice pivot. This is a perfect example of what was previous support turns into resistance, and we finally broke through. Now we're using as support. Nice little bounce here. So what I'm seeing here is that we're trying to get a test of yesterday's opening range. I don't know if we got enough steam for it, but right now that daily does look bullish. So we're going to see how the volume kicks in around 9:30. That's going to make things very interesting. All right, what else we got? So with the opening range, I like a nice solid close of the 5-minute above or below the range. So let's go ahead and look back here. Here's a 5-minute chart. And here's the area that we're talking about. Around 10:15 to 10:20, you see right here, we got a nice close below here. Yes, there is this area, and there's some people, that trades by, let me just take it off the wick and everything else. That's fine too. What I like about close below is because this right here is signal to all the bulls. They could not hold that level. No matter how much they tried, this level is going to be going down. Yes, you bought up all the dip here, but you might want to get out the way. And you could kind of see we recaptured the wick, played around this area, gave it one more push before it reversed. So this was a nice solid move. If you were doing opening range breakout, that's about, depending on where your entry is, 200 250 ticks. All right, roughly, to kind of break that down, 500, so you're talking about maybe $1,000 if you actually played that whole entire move on NQ. Maybe $100 if you did micro. So this was a good move. So I think a lot of people took their profits here. You could see they gave one more retest. They tried to close above it. Bears took it back down. Close above it. Bears took it back down. When we closed here, nice little retest, and then we came down again even further. So this was telling us that the bears had control. But they had control until support. Nice solid 200 bounce. Nice little push. So this is one of those things I love opening range breakouts, because it almost gives you like an order block type of setup. So that way you could, all right, this is where everybody's partying. This is where all the orders are. All right, let me just, if they follow this, then I'm going to follow that. If this happens, then I'll take that. Basically the basis of every trading plan in itself. So when we get deep into this, you can see after the market was closed, this session, this was the Asian to London session, you could see they just took this all the way back down. Everything that was here, they pushed it down, and a new buyer stepped in. I'm very curious on why we're back here, because you don't just come back here into this area for opening range breakout and not try to at least test the opening range breakout for yesterday. So I'm very curious on how bullish we're going to be. And if we get super bullish, could it be the one that brings us all the way to that 800? Is there enough momentum to get us into 900? Or do we go all the way to 22? And 22 is kind of up there. Let me go to a weekly to kind of explain 22. This is 22. So we were at 22,000 roughly around the mid of December, Santa rally. Everybody probably took their profits because they got to buy Christmas gifts. Whatever the reason, I don't care. At the end, is what the chart is telling me. Nice strong hammer candle here. Couldn't recapture the wick. That tells me bulls are not in control. Guess what? The bulls try to step in here. Couldn't hold this level above to kind of get all this momentum. Guess what we did? Came down. Now they're testing this to test these. All this is going to be test. If you follow proper price action, you'll find all the areas. All right, so let's do this. We already did an open range breakout. I love the cues. I love 45-minute. I'm gonna go ahead and explain some of my market dominance setups. We're gonna go ahead and use my red list for that. Let's go ahead and go into here. Shout out to Tony. He gave me this one. P card. I'm gonna check that out a little bit later. See, to kind of dig deeper into the weeds. Waste management. Let's go look at waste management, and let's come over to the daily. Let's see if we can find some swing trade setups, and then at 9:15, 9:20, we'll look for some paper trade setups. All right, so right here on waste management, we're following a nice little reversal here. I do think this was a little bit of a cool down, but the bears could not control it. We are riding this trend, so I got a nice little alert. I'm looking for an upside above 212. If we can get that, I think we could really start to attack some of these areas here. Maybe get waste management into that 220 area, unless this is going to be an evening star. If this can't hold the support that they just created off of this daily, which is roughly, the low says 210.81, somewhere around 210.75, 76, because of course there is some manipulation. Maybe they sweep it and maybe even come down to 210.50, then bounce. As long as it holds somewhere in that area, I'll feel like they're building this fair value gap area and we could get a nice little push on waste management. But if it's holding here, maybe even come back and recapture above 213, I think we're probably going to get some momentum to get up into that 216, 217 area. So I do like waste management on this pullback. All right, what else do I see? There was a couple other ones that I think Boeing was another one of them. So if you don't know what's going on with Boeing, in the news, I forgot when it happened, but there was a plane that crashed in somewhere in Asia. I want to say it was South Korea. I might be butchering it, but I apologize if I am, but I'm just going off of memory. But when that happened, we had a nice little drop down. But the drop down wasn't as vicious as back when, the door hanger had flew off back here with Alaskan Air. I think this was around this time here. So it told me that basically bulls are just testing where the market is and who are going to support. Listen, Boeing is a leader in its space. So when it's all said and done, you're not going to just dump Boeing. So this really looks like a bull flag breakout. If you don't know what that means, let me point it out for y'all and draw it out for you. So you got this area here, and you got this area roughly about here, right? So nice little pennant, flag, whatever you want to call it, as long as it respects it. We're in a bullish area on the daily here. Stochastic is in this lower register. They've been trying to really slam some of these supports, but they keep buying it back up. We're above the 50 EMA. If somewhere around 165 to 164 holds, there's a strong possibility we could break out of this downward trend that was formed here, which is the top of the flag, and then start to really push back up. Now, Boeing used to be, to kind of give you an idea, almost a $300 stock over here back in 2023. Is this the catalyst that they needed to go ahead and recoup all of this gap? What it do, Rod? What's going on? Good morning, my neighbor. Right? Is that the catalyst? Very, very possible. Do I think it's going to happen? Maybe not, because I got an 800 EMA that's right here. Probably going to pull back here. But if it does use this 800 EMA as support, yeah, I'll probably believe it. I'll probably believe it. All right, so let's go ahead and keep on going into the weeds. Uber is a very interesting one. I think I broke this down and I was kind of talking about, was it here or was it Sunday? It might have been Sunday. They finally turn a profit. That's where this whole entire conversation comes up. And I think that there's some profit taking, especially initial investors. They started doing that roughly around here to here. So I'm looking at this major trend that started from the time that they went from showing negative EPS to surprising with 200%, and now it's positive. Their forecast here was still negative, hence the consolidation, and then they went ahead and smashed it again 1000%, and then over here now they started to do positive EPS as a forecast. Could this be the reason why Uber is where it is right now? Could this be the pivot where it stays here, and guess what, now investors are going to go ahead and hold it to $91? Maybe. So I'm very curious on what this earnings is going to show. They anticipate 0.49 after coming off of a 0.37 and surprising here. So I don't know why they're tempering their emotions on this one, but if they do another surprise, I think people are going to pile in, especially you're talking about $11 billion, 11.77. So they're anticipating increase in revenue, but there's going to be some expenditures for the shareholders in itself. So we'll see how that goes. This is an earnings type of, what date is it? The only thing is, its earnings is on February 5th and we're on January 21st. So just make sure you're doing what you have to do. If you have it before the earnings, maybe lock in some profit, not carry it over earnings. But if you do carry it over to earnings, make sure it's something that you're willing to risk all of it. Because if Uber breaks any of these supports, this thing can come back right back to this area, because they've done it before, especially this drop off in July, and this was the October and then December drop off right here. So I'm very curious on that. I think the bear flags are over. Bear flag breakout, bear flag breakout, bear flag. Wait, that's 50% of this bear flag. Could this be the pivot? So that's what I'm very curious on Uber, especially after having my green come up on market dominance. Let me give y'all a pricey one. I think when I was on my list, I talked about earlier with my crew. We already talked about Goldman Sachs. We already talked. Let's talk about Eli Lilly. Now, Eli Lilly is a very expensive one. You're probably not going to play, but I just like to chart because I love to chart. But Eli Lilly has been on this massive sell off. Now, I had a feeling that this was going to happen. You guys have to look at my YouTube videos probably about 3 months right before open enrollment, and I said now they're starting to have a lot of competitors. There's one that you can take it as a drink for when I mean one, I'm talking about their weight loss drug. Eli Lilly was the spearhead for making diabetic drugs into a weight loss drug. I have my reservations for that, but that's a whole nother conversation. So they were riding this wave. This uptrend was completely built on the profits that they were generating off of this diabetic drug, right? So now with all that momentum, we started getting these sell-offs. This was July and this one was September. These two sell-offs gave me a thought of a double top. So I did give some warning. I was like, well, there might have been some profit taking that's happening right now. So just keep in mind, because yeah, it would be cool to get to $1,000, but it doesn't look like it's going to do that. We're about $250 away from that, or from the moment that I said that. So right now what I'm seeing is we had a micro trend that could try to beat a major trend on the weekly, and that is failing right now. So my curiosity here is, could Eli Lilly get to $600? Could it get to $650? So if you don't have the capital and you have the time, or you're patient and you want to go check out the chart and look at the option chain, if you find a nice little contract that is going to give you a good position in that, I can see 680 getting to 650, or even breaking with the momentum that's going to happen from here. Because again, a lot of these buyers are about to be wiped out this week, and we got ourselves how many days? Yeah, so we got about 3 more days for it to recover and turn into a wick without getting this low. We're way too close to it, so this thing can really fall out. So just keep that in mind when you're looking at that one. UNH is a really good company in the healthcare space, but again, I love them when it's open enrollment. And this right here is just, yeah, they had good earnings, missed in revenue, but it's in line, and it's also in line with their forecast. So I think this is a little bit of a pullback in itself. Anything above the 200 EMA, I feel like it's going to be really bullish on this one for the weekly. If we go over to the daily, you could kind of see this is the same support for that pivot. We had a nice little push after December. I think they're just going to go ahead and try to accumulate here. It's probably going to take some time. Good company. I like this company, so that's why it's on my list. All right. Any tickers? Anything y'all want to see? What I'm going to do, I'm going to run a little bit into a few commodities and kind of look at some paper trade setups. But if you have any tickers, good time to go ahead and put it in the chat. All right, so first thing I want to kind of look at is oil one more time. Let's see if we can find a day trade setup for oil. All right, here it is. Let's get rid of my list. Yeah, that would be very interesting. If we close like this is gonna make it real fun. Let's see if they're gonna start to bounce it here. Let's see. This is the 15-minute. Still bearish. That momentum was very strong coming off this downward trend angle. Let's go over to about the 30-minute. Yeah. It's gonna probably take some time for them to kind of turn that back around. So I don't think it's ready for any upside. Probably some opportunity to the downside, especially this 4-hour. Just cut through here, but it's in its lower register anyways. Yeah, I don't. Only thing I don't think, the only way we're gonna get this stochastic get under here is if we break through this order block. So look for this order block for a good area in itself. And what I'm going to be looking for in the 15-minute, I would love for this to kind of get back up in here, cross back over, and probably cool this down, and we're going to go ahead and take another stab to the downside. So let's call it a nice little alert here. All right, got it. Thank you. All right. All right. So what I'm looking for is if below 75 level, possibly test the bottom of the block. So that's what I'm probably going to be looking at for oil in itself. Because if you think about it, we shouldn't be back here, because if the buyers are starting to step up into here, then that means we should just go ahead and continue because we're on top of the order block. Let's just push, go retest this area. But if we're breaking back through here, come check out the chart. Could we be setting something up? If I got a nice little oscillator set up or a price action set up, maybe we're coming off of a hammer, breaking through here. Maybe I could take a small position, be able to hold for the day, and come back down to that lower register. That's what I'm thinking. So we'll see what happens there. Another one that I like to have fun with to get everything rolling is gold. Gold had that pennant action looking like it wanted to push up, but it just kind of stalled out. Looks like we got ourselves, and I like to kind of do this a little differently. I know some people use channels to kind of like get a gauge of where the market is going or whatever the case may be. I kind of do it a little like this, and I drag this wherever I want, and I'm like, there is something like this happening. Like there's a downward channel of orders sitting here where they're like, yeah, we're not letting it pass here, hold the door, and they're just like really pushing it down. Look at how the wicks react into this area as we go through. Let's see what the 45-minute has. Yeah, nice rejection here, and we're still in that bearish side. If this actually starts to take on some bearish momentum and cross back down, this can really cause some problems trying to push to the upside. So that said, I want to see what they're going to do with this. Are they going to go ahead and give us a nice little push eventually here, holding this fair value gap? Let me mark out the fair value gap so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. Right here to right here, and this will be bullish. Right? Are they trying to hold up this area? Are they going to accumulate all inside of this zone? Is this the order block that is bullish, that's putting pressure onto this area, that's creating this wedge that we're going through? Maybe. And then when it finally does that explosion, it just zigzag until it gets back out. So I'm very curious on this area. Let's go into the 15-minute. Let's see if we can find an area that I would consider being bullish. I would say as they retest, let's see. I would say this area here. I'm gonna put the alert on this horizontal line. I'm probably gonna reuse it again. Bounce area, question mark. Okay. Looking for the MACD to continue to push up above 0 line. So if that actually happens on this 15-minute, then I can feel a little confident that they're just, they're just accumulating until they can figure all of this out. So if that's the case, then this could be just an accumulation zone along the way, and then they just kind of wicked it, kind of did like a little bit of a sweep. Actually, you know what? The way this candle is acting, we got 2 minutes left. I'm gonna put it on this candle here, right? So what I'm thinking is, did it too early. It's still forming. Yeah, I got you. So what I'm thinking is this candle here is probably part of that accumulation phase. And you can kind of see when we get this 50-200 dance going back and forth, when it does a cross right here, they come back and test. And if it doesn't hold, which they tried, it just gives up everything. And then we got another 50 and 200 cross that's going, especially this was the test. They try to hold it, short it, and then this candle turned into a hammer, and then they took it right back up. So very curious on how that's going to happen. I think they're using this as a gauge for support and resistance. So I want, in 2 minutes, I'll probably come back to this. In 2 minutes, I want to see what they do with that. All right. We have ourselves 15 minutes into the market open. So how I kind of do things, I just want to make sure that you're set up for the day. We have a hard stop at 9:45, and we're going to go ahead and show you what the opening range breakout would look like at that point. So that way, listen, the opening range breakout is something that you're going to have to be very patient with. So we're going to give you the levels. This is the area that I'm going to be looking at. And then if the 5-minute close is above or below that area, that's when we're going to take the trade. It's going to happen after 9:45. It might happen at 2 o'clock. It might happen at 1 o'clock. It might happen at 3 o'clock, and it just gives a nice little spike and come right back into that area. The goal is staying disciplined. Again, paper trade if you've never done it before. That way you can get the, your juices flowing on that. And also, don't get away from your strategy. If you have a strategy that's already successful, add this as an additional confluence. I don't want to change how you trade. So just keep that in mind as we go ahead and set this up. All right, so let's come back to the chart. You can see here, I want more gold. Let me go into something else because I think I did enough on gold. Come on, 40 seconds. Get up there so I can put my alert in place. I thought by the time I did that little commercial excerpt of how the opening range breaks out, that I'll have enough time to get that locked in, and then I can probably see what this, golden cross does on this 15-minute. But got 17 seconds. I'm gonna push my horizontal line into it as soon as it locks in. All right, perfect. Look at how they bought it all up. That's a strong candle after having a nice little rejection off that area. So I think we're just wedging and ranging. So that's there. So we'll keep that in there just in case. All right, so let's go ahead and go into NQ and get some paper trades in. Let me set something up and bear with me for a little bit. I'm gonna set everything up. All right, let's get to it. So first thing I want to see, all right, boom, 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 boom. Okay. All right, first thing I want to see is looks like we get a nice little rejection here after coming back into that opening range breakout. Could we get more of a rejection? So what I'm thinking is, because we kind of created this hammer and this is a new 15-minute, we're probably going to get something that looks something like, actually let me use a ray line for that. I'm going to get something that looks like this here. Let's come down on 1 minute. Let's see how that looks. 1 minute is kind of bullish, and continue bullish. So probably going to get ourselves a little bit of a pullback here. So I want to see what they do with this. All right, bear with it. Let's see if we can get ourselves a nice little break up here, and then we're going to get, I got my paper trade, making sure I'm in my paper trade. Yeah, we in paper trade. So what I'm thinking is, this is going to be my new pivot. I don't want to get in for that pivot. I'm gonna be patient. This is the 5-minute stochastic. They're just pulling it back, knowing that they want to break out this area because they've been rejected here before. And then the 15-minute, it's still kind of bullish. So that's just the 5-minute resetting some of this stuff and the 1 minute resetting this stuff. So let's see. Again, this was a very massive rejection area for a long period of time, from here to here. Let's get it back over to Monday. Where are you? Okay. This is Monday. Rejection there. rejection there. So this line is an area that bears can be sitting waiting to just short the crap out of it, especially having this whole entire massive move. So the goal here is for us to find something that makes sense. I don't want to be bearish unless this thing is actually crossing and everything here still kind of looks a little bullish. So when you see bearish and bullish at the same time, you're probably dealing in accumulation. You might be in consolidation. Maybe you should just sit out and let the market decide its direction before you just jump in. All right, nice massive rejection. Liquidated all the short-term bulls that jumped in here. That trend line got destroyed. All right, bear with me. Gotta go check on some other stuff here. 30. All right. So let me get that there. So I am also, oh, nice little break here. Oh, okay. You know what? We might be able to ride this momentum into here. So let's see if we can get ourselves a little bit of a pullback. That 5 minutes probably looking real bearish now. Yeah, nice engulfing. Probably came for this fair value gap, but we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, nice little cut through here. This is going to be very interesting. Do the bears have enough strength? All right, I'm gonna do light. Let's see what this light leverage does. What I'm thinking is, you know, nice little stop right here. They could come right back again. Like I said, this 5 minute is still kind of bullish in itself. So this could be a nice little sweep and then they just stop it out here. But if you're looking for something that's going to go ahead and get a little bit of continuation, especially with the 15 starting to give you that hitch, that bend, this could be what brings the 15-minute down. Oh, and we're probably building a bit of an evening star here. So this could be part of it. Unless the bulls are like, no, stop them. And they start to pick it up here. Let's see what happens. Still kind of holding. Again, this is before market opens at 9:30. So, you know, this is where it gets a little risky going in. So that's why I like to paper trade this, because sometimes you get some good volatility, kind of get you warmed up versus, you know, trying to jump into a trade. So you kind of scratching the itch of, I want to be in the trade. And at the same time, you kind of get yourself able to get your eyes trained on what your setup are and everything else. So I was looking for the 5 minute and the 15 minute to catch this and really push this MACD through. And it looks like it's not going to do that. And it's going to come for possibly my stop. But I think I got a healthy stop for it, just in case they're doing some type of manipulation sweeps. We'll see what happens there, because my target, oops, that's not what I try to do. My target is starting to take out this area here, because I think this was the last time we had some real bulls, and they're probably out of the market. They're like, oh, I'll wait till the market opens, and then maybe they'll start to bounce it around here. Plus my 200 is here. Let's see if that happens. Let me go check out some other stuff that I have. All right, this one wasn't here. Oh, wrong one. All right, still working its way. Come on, give me one spike. I know you got it. There we go. About 6 ticks. Strong block here. Strong block. Let's come up to the 15 minute. Let's see what this looks like. Still looks like an evening star being built right in the middle of an uptrend. And it was a very choppy uptrend. I do like when I see something just like this, because it kind of gives me a little confidence, because like new bulls were stepping in on all this price action here, right? And if I get an evening star here, it could be just bull fatigue that created this whole entire drop down. Those I feel like are the best evening stars. and morning stars too, and vice versa, of course. Oh, and I just, yeah, the bull's going to try to stop this. So we got a bearish divergence that's kind of forming on this 15-minute. We had this peak here. This is actually higher than this high. This histogram did not follow. It's not showing higher highs. This oscillator is not following, does not show higher highs. The stochastic almost not following, not showing higher highs. So this could be a loss of momentum here. But again, like I said, this is low volume. This is a good exercise to kind of know how to see divergences. A lot can, ooh, there we go. Nice 26 ticks. I want to go ahead and get this as close to break even here, just to kind of see how that goes, because I'm going to see if this thing's going to ride all the way through. Again, this is just testing that out, because if I had 26 ticks on this, I'm not going to just let them have all of it in my stop loss too. Might as well protect it. All right. I'm curious about Lululemon, but that's a whole nother conversation. Let me plan myself out. Oh, they came for my stop. That's okay. That's okay. Because what you want for a stop loss, especially if you put it in at break even, it has no, if you are right and your top down analysis is in tune and it hits your stop loss like that, then that means either the market is going to shift, which it looks like it's shifting, like it wants to get back into here, especially we're going into the session open, or it could be your top down analysis, you missed something and it's there to protect you. So don't get upset because your stop loss get hit. That was a good trade. Yes, could I have taken 22 ticks? I don't care about the 22 ticks. The question is, can I get the most out of my trade as possible without it disrespecting my rules? And that's exactly what I just followed there. Let's get that. That would be interesting too. Now that I'm thinking about it, that means if we're making all-time highs, could we go into another year of a bull run? Because we'll be getting out of December. Yeah, hold on. This something just popped in my head just now. Assuming that all things are equal, and this actually does this move and takes out these bears, they're going to be scared. They're probably going to try to step in for the highs. But if December can't stop it, we're going into a whole nother cycle. Actually, you know what? Let's do some fun stuff before the market opens. One of the things I haven't used in a very long time. Shout out to D-Boy. D-Boy is the one that put me up on this. Let me grab this. Where are you? Where's my website? Okay, there's my web. What was it called? I had it in my bookmarks, didn't I? For seasonality. I'm looking for seasonality. If y'all know what I'm talking about, by all means, you could just chime in. Oh, what was that doggone company's name? I haven't done it in a while because we have been on this bull run and it disrespected every seasonality chart. Stock charts. That's what it was. Stock charts. Stock charts. Charting tools. I need seasonality. So I like to use QQQ as my example for this. So this is the seasonality chart whenever my computer decides to do its job. Okay, close. Okay, where did you just go with my stuff? Seasonality, okay. I don't need help with it. Okay, that was interesting. Time tools. I just had it for like 2 seconds. Hold on, I'll bring it back. Turn the stock chart. Okay. This is it. So for the past 5 years, the seasonality has been bullish in March. And if you remember March of 2024, we had some very, very, very massive moves. So January, we should push, which is what we're going to get here. February is going to be some type of pullback, but it barely has a percentage move. And then March is that takeoff again until we get like the lag of summer, right? But if all things stays equal to what happened in 2024, could this season out? Because again, for the past 5 years, 100%, March has been finishing bullish. Could we get a new high? Or is February going to be such a pullback that it just ends up being a bullish month just to kind of clean up the candle? Going to be very interesting there. Very interesting. All right. Let me get my next one set up. We're about to open. We got ourselves 8 seconds until market opens, so bear with yourself. Make sure that you're writing your plan. Follow your plan. Don't do nothing reckless. Let the market come to you. All right, one of my alerts just went up. Oh, that's waste management. That one's making a move. Let's go over to the 15-minute on this chart. Let's get this lined up. Go. I was just checking waste management at the same time. All right, so far, if this was the candle and it was completed, we're talking about our low would be here and our high would be here. So following with yesterday's opening range breakout, we're kind of trying to get out of this area. If this kind of lingers along here, this could really be that beginning to kind of blast right through, because I think there's a lot of bears right here, right before that 21,800. A lot of bears. All right, so that's that, and then my last one. If you have any tickers that you want to pull up, I will go over them. So just go ahead and just post them right there. Post them right there. All right. All right. This will be our low right here. That'll be our high. Let's go ahead and check out waste management. Let's see what's going on over there. What you got for us, waste management? Let's come up to a 2 hour to kind of get some sense of the candles. Yeah, that's what that's what I was kind of saying. Like, it feels like we're building this base. This 2 hour starting to cross that stochastic one more time to that upper register. Let's come over to the daily. Yeah, I think I do like waste management to follow this trend line in itself. If we could get into that 214, 215 area and hold, we probably could get ourselves a nice little position. Again, there is a pullback that is needed. This daily is down here. I don't think it's going to come all the way back into this trend line, but a nice little reset would be cool. But I would say if it comes back into this trend line, follows it, good little break here, maybe get a consolidation that resets this oscillator, probably could get a nice little curl and then right back up and make this go through the zero line. All right. Get myself lined up. Let's go back to NQ. Let's see what's going on over there. Bring back the 15-minute. Did the line move? Nope, we're kind of lingering. That's what I was thinking. We probably could get that lingering back and forth action as they accumulate their positions. So keep that in mind. All right. Still looks like we're just going to, and again, this is why it's very important that you have tickers that you follow, that you go to. Like if it's slow like this, especially we're coming off of a holiday, you can go check them out. Right now I'm going to go check out oil while we're here, see how their opening range breakout is looking. Looks like it's consolidating also. Let's go look at gold. Oh, you see that? That's, yeah, it never gave me the pullback I wanted. Oh man, Rod, please tell me you're in gold. Please tell me you're in gold, because this was a good strong candle. If I saw it earlier, I would have put it at this wick. I probably would have been part of this pullback. Look at that nice golden cross on this 15-minute. We're going straight beeline to this area where there's sellers. Look at that. Look at that channel. This area rejected. This area rejected. This area rejected. Right? Nice little rejections there. Look like it could fly right on through. Oh my God, this looks really, really, really nice. So that's gold, especially going through the MACD. Let's see what the 45. Let's see if this can continue. You need a breakthrough here. If we could get a nice little breakthrough above that 745 and hold that level at 745, this thing probably could fly right on through and continue to the upside. Oh, that would be nice. I don't know if anybody caught gold on that one. I don't like taking off a wig. My wife is more of a proficient at that. If I see a wig, and I just don't do it. I just kind of run away in itself. So if you're the type of person that can trade off of wigs, congratulations. Go ahead and do your thing. But not me. I don't do that. Not at all. But this is a nice, look at that 45-minute. You want to see this. This is the type of action you want to kind of see. Right? When you get your oscillators that's like this, right? And you got your center pivot, which is the line in between. These areas kind of opening up like that. That means it could, you're almost like you're predicting that it's going to do this and get up in here and then kind of stay in that register, kind of like up there. That's what you want to see. So when you get this like MACD coming here and the stochastic coming here, you almost want to kind of see that fight. Oh, I got kind of have this angled a little off. All right, there we go. Right, you want to kind of see that way you could get there a little bit earlier because this is giving you that momentum. I'm a 45-minute trade. Oh, there it goes. Oh, that looks beautiful. That looks beautiful. I was being a little greedy by setting my alert here. This was the play. This was a solid play on gold. And you see how the MACD and the stochastic, all of this is starting to follow in itself. It's too late to get in right now. Like the entry was the recapture of this candle sitting on top of this bullish fair value gap, continuing to the upside. Now we're setting up the first 15 minutes of the opening range breakout. If it stays bullish, that means you got yourself a really, really strong position here. And this could be your pullbacks and everything as they try to establish that opening range breakout. So remember, you want these areas. Listen, folks, and let me grab my folder so I can break this down. Listen, understand. Oops, I'm knocking out my safe. All right, understand. This is very. Oh, my kid's trying to help me with my thing. To kind of give y'all a little. So I got my mindset book, so I've been working on it in itself, and my kids are helping me trying to get this in here. It's supposed to be like an insert in itself, so that's a that's a whole other conversation. I gotta fix that there, but I wanna key off on the anti-FOMO. That's what I'm gonna kind of go over in itself. You wanna and listen. That gold is gone. That gold is gone. Right now, everything in your power is saying, I want to take this trade because I see a green candle. It's probably going to give more greens. Listen, the play was getting that support and selling that resistance. This could be a resistance area. They want that 750 level. You know, we kind of talked about this already. So you cannot give a damn. Like, this is basically a formula equation. Don't give a damn what's happening in the market. This one, because there's going to be market showers, there's going to be market opportunities all the time. You got to be super strong. You got to take you yourself, me, myself, and I got to bring it to the 6. You got to be strong. I'm here to paper trade. I'm testing. I saw something, this, that, third. I did not get in with my live account. I'm not gonna go run with my live account and just jump into this trade. That's just being silly. It's not worth it. So right now, do not get this FOMO. This is the anti-FOMO equation. Be strong. Don't care what happens in the market. Don't give two fudges, right? We don't care what happens in the market. We are here to trade. We are trying to be prolific traders. We want to be in when this is happening, not when this is happening. Right now, this could give us a nice little pullback somewhere. Oh, look at that, right? Man, Rod, you better show me the profits. I know you were in there. I know you were in there. So just keep that in mind. All right. So just be conscious of your entries, conscious of your levels, and then that. All right. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, I already got everything locked in. All right. So let's go ahead and get back to NQ, so that way we don't get even more FOMO in itself. Let me go ahead and switch up my cameras and look at the chart. Oof. Is that our NQ dropping? Hold on, that can't be. Oof. Oof. That's what I thought. You see, this is why the market is the way it is, and you gotta understand the timing of the market and everything. And I'm gonna go over to news also, because we're probably preparing for news. But remember, I said this was good for paper trading. We did that. I also said to y'all that the way this chart was looking, this was the yesterday opening range breakout. There's bears that could be still sitting there lingering, waiting to short the crap out of the market. These are warning signs. Don't just jump into a trade. You know, you might as well just go to the casino if you're just going to take a trade because you feel like. No, get these confirmations. I drew this line off of just these two candles right here. Nothing more, nothing less. And we respected it. We couldn't get above it. And I think all the bulls that were all the way from here, here, and here, they saw it too. And they was like, well, since we can't take it here, we might as well get the hell out of here. And they're probably like, oh, let's just wait until we come back to an order block. Good, solid order block. Look at that pickup. Like they forgot something. Picking up chips right there. This was my target that I was looking for. Good, massive drop. That was about an 86-point drop right there. But we're going to be disciplined, right? We're looking for opening range breakouts. We got ourselves 2 more minutes until this opening range is set. Like I said, if you like this video, like, subscribe, hit the bell button. Let the algorithm know that I bring in good content. Also, go ahead and click down below. I got links to 65% off of Elite Funded Trader. If you want to trade with other people's money, that's the way to go. I use them. I like them. So go ahead and get yourself an account. Oh, we You know what we're bouncing off of? I just realized we're bouncing off that 600 level. That's what we're bouncing off of. So this was a 100-point drop. 100-point drop. You're talking about 100 points. Let's do the math. So you're talking about 400 ticks. So you take that, multiply by 5, $2,000. I think I'm doing the math. I'm doing it off the top of my head, so bear with me. Mental math. Just having some fun with it. So that was a good massive drop. $200 if it was a micro. So this was a very, very interesting setup. Let's go over the Qs. I'm curious on what's going on with Qs because I was looking at that 25 level to be, oh, look at that. Did not hold that 25 level. So if we kind of take a step back, what does this tell us? This tells us that whatever bears is happening here and the bears that were here and the bears over here, they're like, oh, this is a good area and this could be a whole entire order block in itself. That's what it kind of tells us. Is it confirmed? No. Because again, this day could be just a wick coming to here, buying more, giving bulls better prices, and then they take it all the way back up at reverse. So do not jump into conclusions. Do not just assume. This thing is crossing up to be bullish. We're in this upper register of the 50% on the stochastic. So this could do a lot of things. But for right now, this is probably not the best entry to get in. And that's why opening range breakouts gives you that cushion. That's what you want to get, right? You want to be in profit so much that you could slide, that peaceful trading, like you're already in the trade. It's already pushing up. We take this candle right here, for example, and when it gets, oh, there goes my market dominance. Probably going to get a pullback here, right? Let's just say you was in this candle down here, and then you got in on this entry. It gets up into this level. You're like, oh, cool. I can put my stop loss here. It never hits it. And that's peaceful trading. That whole, oh my God, this candle's changing. That's that dangerous choppy FOMO creating trading. We don't do that here. We don't do that here. So this is our established position. Let's look at the 5-minute real quick before I get out of here, because this is where my market dominance kind of comes in. It's anticipating a green candle is going to play a part. If it breaks this fair value gap, we probably get a nice little pivot into it. So this could be your 600 bounce. And if we can get above this level, get the bears out the way, we'll eat up the fair value gap, and then we probably take on this trend line. So let's see if we can get that along the way. And caveat, that's not an opening range breakout. This is just for my scalpers in itself. This is if you want to get into a trade slightly. I'm anticipating a little bit of a pullback because we are still in a bullish state. Bears took control for about 15 minutes. How much conviction do they have in the position? Are they going to sell more, or are they going to go ahead and start locking in their profits, which turns them into buyers? This could be a little bit of a bounce, retest this area, and we're probably going to do, let me get a fair value gap in here. All right, boom. This is going to be bearish. Not bearish momentum, bearish fair value gap, right? And maybe they come to that 50% mark of that fair value gap. So I'm thinking maybe like a 660 rejection as they say, hey, we need to get back to this trend line so that we can get some more sellers to come here. Maybe. So just keep that in mind if you're going to scout this, that this right here is still bearish. Very. Like we're coming through the zero line on the 5-minute. That could cause problems. Come over to the 15-minute. What does this look like? We're still in a bullish state, but this could be the momentum needed to make us come all the way through the zero line. Possibly. Got to do your top-down analysis, folks. Got to. All right, we get another push. Let's do this up. It just gave me my other alert. They probably finished liquidating the bulls, but this was a nice little strong pivot here. Let's see if we can get into that 50%. Ooh, where you going? And this is where you start to see, you're like, wait, I was just in profit and everything was looking good. You're probably inside of a counter trend. And then you let a green trade turn red, and guess what happens? It keeps liquidating, All those short-term sellers, all of them getting caught. Let's see if we get to that 660. Very possible. Nice bounce off that 600 though. 589 was the sweep. Had a nice little entry somewhere around 600. It never came back. I could come down in a 1 minute to show you what I mean. 589 sweep, Morningstar, very strong, right above 600, never came back. It held around 614 as people accumulated. Boom, there goes the 660. There you go. So this is why playing inside of the opening range can be dangerous, right? The first thing you see on the 15-minute, and I've seen some people take some 15-minute opening range breakout, and they're like, oh, this is the pullback, Jeff. All right, I'm going to short it here. Guess what? You got caught in liquidity. No, wait. Get your confirmations. Your 15 minutes, your higher time frame. Your 5 minute is your confirmation. If you want to go down to a lower time frame, like a 1 minute, to get even better entry, cool. But at the end of the day, the moment that 15 minute gave you that establishment, that's your levels, not your entry. Trade your plan, not your money. All right, that said, thank you very much for chiming in with me. I got a hard stop. I got to get to the office. I appreciate every single one of y'all for taking the time. And Lee, I got to hit you up. I'm going to talk to you on another thing. And thank you for taking the time. Go ahead and hit the like, subscribe, and the bell button. Go ahead and get your links. Go ahead and get your free one-on-one. I have it open for all the month of January. Pick a time, pick a date. We'll go ahead and break down any question that you want to have. And that said, thank you very much. Remember, get it down here. Don't get it up here if you're going to play it to the upside. All right. That said, later. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye-bye.